designing work. As long as it was something creative and it was making me a living.
When did you first start singing?
I don't know. I guess I've been singing in some form or other all my life, but I really didn't get serious about singing until I got into Boston as my sophomore year of college in '94.
Is there anything else you want to add about the Hyannis Sound and all that?
Other than Nadia's been great this year. Big help. And I'm going to miss the guys, I think, when it's all over in about 5 days. I'm going to miss you guys, with the exception of Michael Blanc, who I'm singing with for another year into the future. I'd like to thank everybody. I wish I could thank them all individually, but I'd rather not take the time.
All right. Thank you. The name?
My name is Nate Altamari.
And you're from where?
From Northampton, Massachusetts.
And where did you go to school?
Go to UMass Amherst.
When did you hear about the Hyannis Sound?
Heard about the Hyannis Sound I guess it was maybe last March. The Vineyard Sound came to UMass and did a concert with my a cappella group at school. Directly at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
You can look at me too.
So yeah, Vineyard Sound came to UMass and did a show with my a cappella group.
Which is called?
It was called the UMass Doo-Wop Shop. And I asked them about auditions for their group, and they said they don't really hold auditions for their group, but the Hyannis Sound was holding auditions, and I should contact Mr. Darren Coyle. So I called Darren and set up an audition, and I went and auditioned for the group, and that's where I met all these wonderful guys.
What did you like most about being in the Hyannis Sound? A blank. Nothing really.
Next question.
Are you going to come back next year?
I can't come back next year because I have to go to school, but I plan to come back the summer after that.
When did you start singing first?
First singing ever in my life?
Well, like maybe plays or...
First singing group I ever sang with was chamber choir at University of Massachusetts last semester.
Okay. And what are you studying at UMass?
I'm a vocal jazz major with a music education with a minor in saxophone.
And what do you want to do later with that?
I want to teach band. I'm not sure if I want to do high school or grammar school or junior high school, or what I'd like to do, like full music program, including like chorus and theory classes and all sorts of things like that.
Cool. What is your day job during the summer?
My day job, briefly, was waiting tables until I decided not to go. I just basically said I'm not going to work anymore, and they wrote 86 Nate on the dry erase board.
So, and then you stopped?
Then I stopped working, and I have the next week.
Where did you wait
off.
tables?
I waited tables at Chatham Bars Inn.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the group?
No.
All right, that's it. Thanks. What's your name?
My name is Brendan Margay.
And where are you from?
I'm from Avon, Connecticut.
And where do you go to school?
I go to school at Connecticut College. I'll be a senior.
How did you hear about the Hyannis Sound?
Are we familiar with Dylan Darren?
Uh-huh.
Dylan Darren, who both sing with me in school. Or sang with me, I guess.
Uh-huh. And they told you that they were in the group and that you should try it, or?
Yeah, for all intents and purposes. I've known about the Vineyard Sound for a while, and so when the Hyannis Sound came around, I spent a lot of time. I guess I met you 2 years ago, when I spent a lot of time at the house then, and so on and so forth. So yeah.
And then you auditioned, or?
I auditioned this past April.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what did you like most about being in the Hyannis Sound?
Interesting question. I guess the camaraderie. I guess there's. I've always felt this about acapella, is that there's a camaraderie, with almost a fraternity with hanging out with 10 guys, particularly when you live with 10 guys, which at times can be very trying. However, the friendships I've made here are lasting ones, and ones that I'm very excited to have and such.
What are you studying at UConn? Connecticut College. I'm sorry.
on
I
now.
know.
What am I studying at Connecticut College? I'm studying English and theater. Are my two
And
majors.
what do you want to do with that later?
Well, I don't know. I'm looking into teaching after I graduate in the Boston area. Partially because it would keep my summers open so I could do this. And I'd kick myself if I never gave the theater a shot. So I think after I get a sound financial base from teaching, I'll have an opportunity to get into New York or to Chicago or DC and try my hand at acting.
So does that mean that you're going to come back next year?
Yeah, I'll be back.
That's cool.
I'll be back.
When did you start singing first?
Wow.
Other than maybe singing along in the car.
Yeah. Freshman year in high school is when I really started, and then my sophomore year in high school is when I began singing a cappella with a group at high school, and that's when singing sort of took off. And since then, it's been all uphill.
So you been singing at Connecticut College a cappella?
Yeah,
Or-
I've been singing on Kokomo with Dave and Darren and Winston and Alex and Clay, who are both in the Vineyard Sound right now. And yeah, so that's yeah.
Did you think about going to the Vineyard Sound first and then?
Yeah, I
here?
did. I actually I spoke to Alex, who is a guy from Kokomo who is in the Vineyard Sound and has been for a couple years now. And I spoke to him before Hyannis Sound auditions and before the Vineyard chose who they wanted. And I said, look, you know, like, I really want to sing in the Vineyard Sound. You know, it sounds like such a great opportunity and da-da-da-da-da. And then they took Clay, who's a good friend of mine, who's a musical genius and a really talented kid. So I understood why I wasn't selected to go to the Vineyard Sound and sort of harbored a resentment for this sort of selection process and like no auditions and all that sort of nonsense. So, so Darren and Bill said, hey, audition, and so I did, and here I am. And I'm thankful that the Vineyard Sound never selected me, and I'm thankful that I'm in the Hyannis Sound. This has been, I guess when you're in the Hyannis Sound as opposed to the Vineyard Sound, you have this sort of like, this dream of achieving what the Vineyard Sound has achieved in 5 years, and like, there's a definite competitive edge, at least to me. So like, I've always sort of said to myself, I'm, you know, like, if I do nothing else in the Hyannis Sound, it will be to make the Hyannis Sound as good as the Vineyard Sound, if not better. And I think we've certainly achieved that this summer.
Definitely, yeah. Would you like to add anything else about the group?
About the group?
Anything else?
I think Darren Coyle is phenomenally attractive. No. What do I want to add? Nothing. It's been a great summer. I've been happy from day one. You know, it's an opportunity that I have yearned for and finally got a chance to do. So it's been great. And you've been great, huh?
All right, that's it. Hey.
My name is Mike Barnacle.
And where are you from?
From Simsbury, Connecticut.
Where do you go to school?
I go to Central Connecticut State University in lovely New Britain, Connecticut.
That's what everybody says. Lovely. New London and all that. When did you first hear about the Hyannis Sound?
I heard about it, was it 1992 or 93? Actually, there was no Hyannis Sound when I heard about it. I heard about the Vineyard Sound, and I saw them, and I just got a phone number and called whoever it was that they told me to call, and sent in a tape and a resume, and
Got the
and
job
there I
right
was.
away?
Yeah.
You didn't have to audition, or?
Well, I sent him a tape.
Oh, that was the audition.
That was
or
my
something.
audition.
And then you just came to the vineyard, and there you started practicing the songs and all that. Oh. What did you like most about being in the Hyannis Sound?
What did I like most? Just the whole idea behind it.
Which
Just
is
spending the summer out in the Cape and having fun, living with a bunch of guys and singing for a living. Can't beat it.
What was your day job during the first year?
First year, I worked at a restaurant in Hyannis
Which is?
as a cook. I worked at tugboats.
And during the second year?
I didn't do much the second year. I worked a little bit at a law firm,
Hmm.
just doing general maintenance stuff.
And what did you do this year?
Friendlies.
When did you first start singing?
Uh,
Otherwise than singing along to the radio card.
I started singing long before I could remember.
So you sang in theater and all that.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did you what year are you going to be at Central? You
Who
graduated?
knows? No, I haven't graduated yet.
Uh-huh.
I got a couple more semesters.
And are you going to come back next year to the Hyannis
I
Sound?
have no idea.
You don't know.
I'd like to, but I may have to take classes and that kind of thing.
What are you studying?
Music education.
And what do you want to do with that? Teach? or-
Teach. Choral, band,
Mhm.
whatever. High school, preferably.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to, like, about the Hyannis Sound or anything else?
No, I'm sure you pretty much got everything from everybody else.
I got
There can't be-
Darren
there can't
was
be much
very
more to say.
attractive, and I got some other stuff.
Can't be much more to say.
All right, that's it. So this has been another year of the Hyannis Sound.